So today we're going to try out our sewing skills and make a DIY light bar cover. First thing I did was get some vinyl type material that's for the most part waterproof from one side, and I put a hem along the length of it on the longest edge. It's about 52 inches and our light bar is 41 and a half, and I have a 6-inch one on the back of the Commander that's going to get a small cover, so I'll just cut off about a 6-inch section of it once it's all done and complete. The circumference of the light bar is about 12 inches, and so I'm going to make it about 17 inches total length so we have some overlap on one side of it. It's going to have Velcro when it overlaps to keep it attached, and then a couple of buckles with some nylon webbing to tighten it down and secure it a little tighter. So what we're doing here is we are measuring that 17 inches, which is the height of the piece of material, and we're going to make that cut. Then we're going to go over and sew a hem on the piece of the edge that we just cut. All the hems I put on the edges, I didn't have a exact width. I used roughly about a ½ inch. The width on the foot of the sewing machine seemed to work out pretty well. Now that both edges have a hem on it and look nice, we're just doing a quick test to see how things are looking. Now that we figured out where we want to build the pocket to insert the piece of rigid material, in this case we used a piece of foam from the original packaging. We set the light bar on there after squaring everything up, trace the outside edge, so we have a good visual representation of where to put the pocket, and pin everything down and sew the flap we're about to make. We're making our flap. It's 4 inches wide, so we'll have a ½ inch overhang when we sew it onto the main piece. So we pinned our strip down. Just trace the edge of the light bar again so we'll know where to sew. So we'll have a pocket. Once you have the piece of fabric pinned down, it's time to run it through the sewing machine on both sides. I gave it about an extra ½ inch on either side, so when I put the material in, the pocket had a little room to expand. That way it wasn't really snug and fighting the stitches to have potential to rip those out by trying to force the foam inside of it. So for the open end of the pocket where we're going to slide our plexiglass in, I left a flap here so we can Velcro or fold it over and secure it somehow. And then if we decide we don't want to use it, we can always pull out a piece of plexiglass. So we've got the light bar face down, centered up on the sleeve where the piece of plexiglass is going to go. And what we're going to do is plan our buckles. I've got a couple of snap buckles here. What we're going to do is plan for the female on the top part. This is the top of the light bar, the way it'll be mounted. And the bottom is my helper, Madison. And so what we're going to do is pretty much right where that pocket starts, we're going to sew this webbing right there. And then right where it starts here, I'm going to sew this piece of webbing and then weave it through the buckle. And we're going to do that in 4 spots. About one here, 10.5 inches over, another 10.5, another 10.5, and then the end here. And that'll give us 4 places to secure it. And then we'll look at putting on the Velcro. the way it all worked out, I ended up with 5 straps, which is just fine. Give a little extra security. When you're sewing these pieces of nylon webbing on at the corner too, be careful with the thickness of the nylon, and the material where it's hemmed on itself is pretty thick, so you can run the potential to break a needle like I did. So just be extra careful. And repeat this 5 times on each side, and for the male and female buckle. This piece of foam was part of the original packaging for the light bar, so we're just going to set it on here and trace the edge so we'll know where to cut. And if you already have your light bar mounted, just measure it, the width of it. Mine's 3 inches. Go ahead and insert whatever type of material you decide to use. I ended up going with the foam. I know you heard me mention plexiglass a couple of times in parts I had recorded earlier in the project. So there we have it. We got the foam in there. Decided not to use plexiglass. It was part of the packaging. It's very convenient and already paid for. I think it'll do well for a rock or something like that going down the road. And so we're pretty much complete here, other than missing 2 sets of buckles. They are out of them at Walmart, and we'll get some more probably online here shortly. One buckle there on the edge, one in the middle, and one on the other side. Tighten those down, so once we get the other 2 buckles here and here, we'll be nice and secure. Won't have anything to worry about. And there you have a DIY LED light bar cover. Keep the moisture out of it, protect the lens when you're not using it, trailering or just trail riding, whichever you want to do. So it was a quick little project. Took a little bit of head scratching. Enjoyable all the way around. If you enjoyed the video, please take the time to log into YouTube, give it a thumbs up, and if you're not a subscriber to my channel, please subscribe and share with your friends. Thank you for watching.